Hey associates! Alright, so this this video is going to walk through the email assignment. This is a nice, pretty quick one. So basically what you're going to do is write an email to a client or other sort of business associate, and the core and purpose of this email is to inform them about an upcoming meeting and outline what they need to do to get ready for that meeting, what they should expect at the meeting, where to go to the meeting, just all the details that you would need to send to a client or a teammate or a parent, whatever it might be for your industry, to have a successful meeting place. So you definitely, feel free to tailor the recipient and the specific event to your industry, your career interests. So for those of you who are on the teacher track, definitely you could send an email out for parent-teacher conferences. You could do more of like a supervisor type thing and send out an email for an upcoming meeting. Maybe you're meeting with a client or an investor about, a product or something, send them an email. Whatever it is that fits for your company. I'm just looking for an email about some sort of event or meeting that you're trying to organize and get people together for. So your tasks, first, obviously decide on the event and the recipient. Make sure you set those key details, place time, an agenda. You can't just say, hey, meet here next time. Explain to the recipient what the meeting is about, what they need to do, what's going to happen at the meeting, what you hope to accomplish, etc. Then draft the email, right? Make sure you have the appropriate headers that will go in the email, particularly the subject line I'll be looking for very carefully, because definitely, right, when an email comes up on our phone or on our computer notification, what do we see? The subject line. So it's really important that you have a really clear, concise subject line that's easy for that recipient to reference and understand what the email is about. Make sure you think about your document design so it's easy to navigate and see and reference, right? If it's a meeting, the recipient probably is going to open this email a few times to triple check things. So make sure it's easy for them to find the info and have those appropriate paragraph breaks. You do need to write paragraphs, again, so you can inform the recipient about what's going on with the meeting and why they need to come and what they need to do. Overall, just make it as realistic as possible. Imagine that because you will pretty much 100% need to write emails about some sort of meeting or event in your career or even personal life. So, make this, a really good practice and example of crafting a strong email. So if you feel really, really stuck and you just can't figure out what to do it on, I did set up a little scenario. You can feel free to create this assignment, sending an email to interview finalists, alerting them to hey, you can come in for an interview. So just come up with those details, the company, etc. But feel free to use that scenario if you're feeling stuck. As far as expectations, you just need to make sure you have that email appropriate header. Make sure you have those meeting details that everyone needs to actually make it to your meeting. And then follow the 3-paragraph structure that you read about in the book, page 140, if you need to reference it. So that way it walks the reader through, the information really nicely. Keep in mind when it comes to emails, paragraphs don't necessarily need to follow that 3 to, whatever sentence general thing that we tell writers. A paragraph in an email can often be 1 or 2 sentences. So don't get too caught up there, but it should be, it needs to inform the reader, anticipate all their questions, concerns, have that clarity. So you do need to have, a bit of information in this assignment. Basically get an A, build on everything definitely make sure I can find all the core details of the meeting, and that you're demonstrating those 6 C's of professional communication. And by doing this, you'll be practicing, drafting a common workplace correspondence, again, emails, most common things that are used, and pretty much every company has meetings at some point, so that'll be helpful. Anticipating questions, regarding meetings, right? We know people get confused easily, so try to anticipate and explain what questions they might have. And then really importantly, designing an email for that quick reference and navigation. I really want you to focus on document design and how you can help and make sure that your readers know exactly what they need to do and where they need to go and can reference that, as you're running to the meeting. I don't know if you've ever done this, but I definitely am like a hyper double checker. And so I'm always on my phone, like pulling up that email again, like, what room was it? What time was it? Just as I'm running on my way, just to triply check. So make sure you can do that. And the objective, enhance email communication standards, right? It's one of the most common, yet emails are usually not very good, and readers will always appreciate, right, a stronger email that's easy for them to read and understand and navigate. Don't just block text it. That's gross. Nobody wants to read that. It's so easy to skim and skip important information. So let's really work on making sure you're going to be the best emailer and communicator in your workforce. All right, bye.